The Atlanta Hawks finished a record of 43-39. They ended up getting beat in 5 games versus the Miami Heat. And all in all, it was a very disappointing season compared to the Eastern Conference Finals run last year. They ranked 6th in points per game, 30th in fast break points, 22nd in points to the paint, 21st in assists on field goals made, and 18th in opponents' points per game. I've come up with 4 trades using ESPN Trades Machine to help improve this Atlanta Hawks roster so they can get back to the conference finals like they were the year prior. And now before I get into trades, if you guys can like and subscribe to this video, that'd be much appreciated as I'm trying to grow my channel. So before we get into the trades, I looked at 4 factors that the Atlanta Hawks need to improve on their roster. Number 1 is find a secondary ball handler besides Trae Young. Now in the Miami Heat series, we saw them absolutely clamp Trae Young. And since he's their only real ball handler on the team, once they clamped him down, they had no real, facilitator, and they can never get into their offense when, during Trae Young's struggles. Next, find perimeter defense. We know this Atlanta Hawks team cannot defend. You have Trae Young undersized. Kevin Huerter's not a bad defender. DeAndre Hunter can't stay on the floor for more than 20 games at a time. And then you have Bojan Bogdanovic, not a good perimeter defender. You just don't have any defenders on this team. So it's definitely something they need to prioritize in this upcoming offseason. And they need more athletic wings. So the 30th in fast break points tells me that they're just not fast enough and they're not running the ball as they should. And that also leads to less defensive stops. So if they get more defensive stops, more fast break points, and also just faster athletic wings that are going to, rim run Trae Young and get easy layups in open look. And finally, find a co-star with Trae Young. We all know in this league it's very, very rare for a team to have one main all-star and go all the way and win the whole thing. Maybe make a blockbuster trade for someone this offseason to really give Trae Young a co-stars. So the first trade of the day, we have Donovan Mitchell going to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, and probably a couple picks from the Hawks. Obviously for the Atlanta side, you get an all-star caliber player on Donovan Mitchell, and he's locked up for a 5-year deal, so they're going to have him for years and years to come. And the only downside is that the perimeter defense is probably going to get even worse because Mitchell wasn't a great defender in Utah. However, their system kind of allowed him to do so with Rudy Gobert being such a great interior defender. So I think in Atlanta, he's going to step up, his defense. In terms for the Utah Jazz side, if they do decide to blow it up, this is a great start. You get young pieces in John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, and Kevin Huerter. Plus, you get a couple first-round picks for them. That's a pretty good haul for Donovan Mitchell, and you got some young assets moving forward. So moving on to the next trade, you have Jeremy Grant going to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for DeLon Wright and DeAndre Hunter. Now, for the Atlanta Hawks side, you have Jeremy Grant, who is a very solid defender, has a very good offensive skill set. He may not be the 20-point-per-game scorer that he was in Detroit. However, still a nice athletic young wing for them who can defend and play offense. And in terms of the Detroit Pistons side, they get DeLon Wright, who's a nice veteran on a very easy contract. And you also get DeAndre Hunter, who's a nice young wing with a ton of potential. His downfall is his injuries and his inconsistency on offense. But he is a good 3-and-D player and has potential moving forward with that young group of guys they have. And of course, I would have Atlanta throwing in a first-round pick to sweeten the deal. I think that's a win for both sides in this trade. This trade, y'all might come at me for this one. I really wasn't sure about this one, if Memphis would do this trade or not. And it's Dillon Brooks and K. Tilly for Bogdanovic. So hear me out. So Memphis struggled from shooting the 3-ball. They don't have any really elite 3-point shooters outside of Desmond Bane. And Dillon Brooks definitely struggled in that department this year as well. So, Brooks going to Atlanta, he's a very grit and grind, nice defender for them, and you can really change a defensive culture on a team, and I think is very underrated in that aspect. So if the Atlanta Hawks could get him, I think that will increase their defense by a tremendous amount. I'm gonna keep it a buck. K. Tiller's in here for contract reasons. I don't even know what his first name is. And then we have Bogdanovic going to the Grizzlies, who's an absolute sharpshooter, and I think will really be able to spread the floor better for Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. to really attack the basket. For the final trade of the video, we're going back to Utah in a trade of Rudy Gobert, Jordan Clarkson, and Royce O'Neal is going over to Atlanta in exchange for Clint Capella, Bogdanovic, DeAndre Hunter, and Jalen Johnson. Now, for the Atlanta side, they get an interior defender, Rudy Gobert. Automatically makes your team a top 15 defensive team in the league. And he's also a lob threat because he's 7'1", and Trae Young loves that little lob. He throws to Clint Capella a lot. And Rudy Gobert being that much taller, I bet his offense is going to reach a higher ceiling. Not much, still going to be a lob threat, but he's going to be able to score more points for Trae Young's vision. Jordan Clarkson, a nice backup point guard for them. He's going to be able to, handle the ball, create some offense when Trae Young is struggling. And then Royce O'Neal is just a great 3-and-D wing you can really put on any team, and he would really benefit and the pace and space the Atlanta Hawks play. He can hit the 3, and he can also defend, the primary ball handler on the other end. great player for Utah and would be a great player for the Atlanta Hawks. Now going over to the Utah side, they get Clint Capella. If they're rebuilding, that's not really a piece that you want necessarily, but it's just contract reasons he's in there. Or if they trade Gobert and they keep Donovan Mitchell, Capella would be a nice pick and roll partner for him. You have Bogdanovich, a great shooter who can really spread the floor for them. It doesn't give you much on the defensive end. Then you have DeAndre Hunter, a nice young piece. Again, I've been over that. His potential is high. Injuries have always plagued him, but he's still a good 3-and-D wing for your team. And then Jalen Johnson's in here just for another young piece to throw on top of the trade. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys want to see another video just like this one, you can look right here. I did 4 trades for the Brooklyn Nets to make this offseason. Check that out. It's an absolute banger. And I'll see you guys next video.